In this tutorial, we are going to complete our previous app, which was an analog clock part 1. In that project, we designed our clock by just showing the second hand, and in this one, we are going to have an image for the background, and also we are going to show the minute hand and also the hour hand. So get ready and let's do the project. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to download the face for our analog clock. The image, you can download it at this address. So when you type, go to the address bar on your browser, type the address, and when you hit enter, you will see the image which is shown here. Now, to download the image, right click on the image and say save picture as, and then save it any place you want. We need this one to be uploaded to our app when we are designing it. So going back to our design, we are going to upload the image as a background for our canvas. But before we do that, make sure you change the height of the canvas to be 85%. The reason is when you upload the image looks a little bit crooked because the width and the height are not proportional. So when I did this one, I tried it for different height, and 85% seems to be okay. So go to background image and then say upload file, choose the file. Mine is on the desktop, so this is the analog face, and then upload it to your app. So this is the face of our clock. Now let's go to modify the code here. Now if you go and look at your emulator, you will see that the center is not the same as the clock center. So this means that we have to change the center of our app. Right now it's at 160 by 160 pixel. So let's change this one, the Y value, to 200. And also the Y value here to 200. Now if we go to our emulator, you can see that it's almost, at the center of the face, and that's good enough for our application. Now let's go ahead and design the minute hand. Since we have to keep track of minute, let's create another variable. Let's call it minute. Again, the initial value is 0, which is okay. Now we are going to do exactly the same thing that we did for second. So I'm going to duplicate every block outside. So I'm going to put it outside here because I don't want to get any error while I'm designing it. So this is the code that I need. Now I'm not going to use the same color. Let's say I use red color for my minute. The widths, I'm not going to use 2, I'm going to use 3, a little bit thicker. And this one is my minute now. And here, I don't want the second. So I go back to my clock, and this time I'm going to say get the minute here. So I put this one here, and then I jump this one, and then I put it right here. Now So up to here, everything is okay. Now the center is great. There is no problem. The only thing we have to remember is that every 60 minutes, the minute handle is going to go 360 degrees. So 360 divided by 60 gives me 6, which is the same as this number. And also I have to change this one to minute, this one to minute. Now, one thing we have to remember is that whatever the minute is currently here, remember that the second is already has to be counted toward the minute. So here I have to change the value of minute. So I'm going to again duplicate this one, put it right here, and then I'm going to say my minute, set the minute, no, not this one. I want to add the second, the amount of second to my minute one. So I have to go and get a addition block. So I'm going to add to minute. Now I have to convert the amount of second to minute. To do that one, I'm going to divide the second by 60 because 1 minute is 60 seconds. So I'm going to go down here and I'm going to duplicate this one, make it second, and then divide by 60. So duplicate this block, put it right here. So now my minute is going to have the real minute and also the amount of seconds. And then it's going to use the draw line to draw the minute hand based on the value of the minute on the clock. So I'm going to take this one now and I put it right here. Now let's look at the design so far. This is our analog clock. This is the second. This is the minute. The only thing that probably we need to do is to change the length of the minute one because right now it's the same as the second one. So we can go back here and we can say the minute hand is just 100 pixels. So it's going to be smaller than second hand. If we go back here, you can see that the minute now is smaller than the second one. Now let's go ahead and design the last part of the app, which is the hour. So again, I duplicate these outside. And the last one is this one. Now, first of all, the color, I'm going to use dark green, or let's use light blue. For the width, I'm going to use 4. Now, this one is going to be hours, so I have to create another variable. Let's call it hour. And down here, I'm going to change this one to hour. Now, this one is going to be hour now, so I'm going to go to clock now. And then I'm going to get hour here, this one. And this one becomes here, hour. So I'm going to put it right here, and this one is going to delete this block. Now, our hour is, when we get the hour, we do exactly the same thing. We are going to modify the hour by adding the minute and the second to it. So here, I'm going to have another addition block. But I'm going to add this one here. Then I'm going to add hour here. Now, the minute, we know that every 60 minutes is 1 hour. So whatever minute we get, we divide it by 60 to find how many hours is it. So I need a division block here. So a division block, then I get the minute, and then I divide it by 60. So this is going to be the conversion of minute to hour. And also the same thing, I need second and divided by 3600, because every hour is 3600 seconds. So I don't need this one anymore. Now to the hour I add this one, and also I add this one. You can see that this one is getting too long, too big. So I'm going to change this guy to external one, and also I'm going to change this one to external one. You can see it's much easier to see what exactly the blocks are about. And then change this one to hour. So we get the hour, then we add to hour the number of minutes converted to hours, and then add to it also number of seconds converted to hour. Then we are going to, again, from 160 pixels and 200, we are going to draw the line. Now this is going to be a little bit different now. First of all, the length of the hour, we're going to change it to 80 now. These 6 changes, the reason is that we know that every 12 hours we are going to go through 360 degrees. So if we divide 360 by 12, we are going to get 30. So this one I have to multiply by 30. The other problem here is that hour, unlike minutes and seconds, goes 12 hours, which is 360 degrees, and then it goes to the afternoon, which is, instead of having 1, 2, 3, now it's going to change to 13, 14, 15, and so forth. So we are going to change, after this block, we're going to check to see if the hour is greater than 12. If it is, we are going to subtract it from 12 to get from 1 to 2. So here I'm going to have an if condition, and I'm going to say if hour is greater than or equal to 15, if hour, so I'm going to say if hour is greater than or equal to 12, not 15, sorry, is greater than or equal to 12, this is for the case of afternoon, then I'm going to set the hour. So I'm going to set the hour to hour minus 12. So I'm going to set this one to get hour minus 12. This is going to solve the problem with PM when it goes after 12, let's say 13, 14, 15. When you subtract 12 from it, then it becomes 1, 2, 3, 4. Exactly what we want. And now I'm going to put everything back here and then put everything inside the block. So this is the whole code. Let's see if there is any problem with our clock. I just noticed that the global minute is still here, so let's change this one to global hour, this one to global hour, and let's check our design again. Let's see. Now you can see that the hour is pointing in the right number, the second is moving, and also the minute is pointing to the correct value for minute.